And when it comes to content creation, I want you guys to think that you are going to be at the top of this, what we're going to call story arc. It's our circle. There's a lot of relevance, especially when it comes to short form. Now, this is something that I came up with. I was trying to figure out a way when it comes to long form video and movies. You got your trials and your tribulations, but when it comes to us as content creators and us as branders, we're the main character. We're the hero in our story. And no matter what level you're at, today we're going to chop into the hero's journey. We're going to take little bite-sized bits. But I want you to understand that this is just a framework. This may make sense to you, and I really hope it does. Because when it comes to teaching and when I encounter other creatives, I get to see superpowers. I get to see that hero in them. So I look forward to, in chat, please chat. And I'm going to follow along here. I'm pretty good at bouncing back and forth. But I want to show you that this can be an unforgettable journey. I remember when I started at the Colorado Media School, I remember placing my first phone call. Talk about story. I heard an ad on the radio, and there was a piece of me that was, are they talking to me? Is that possible? It was my call to action. I heard the call. This is me up here, my little journeyman, and I you'll see I'm from Colorado and I like to hike, so it really is me on a weekend. When you think about your social media in your videos and turning each piece of content into a mini adventure that resonates with your audience. Now I want to say that one more time, with your audience. My audience, stuff that I do, or my audience may be very different from your audience. And it has to do with what passions and what desires we each have. So I'm going to say this one more time. You're the hero. Don't forget it. After you hear the call, a lot of heroes have a refusal of the call. They're neglecting their social presence. Imagine the hero turning away from initial excitement of sharing his journey. It's very similar to neglecting your social media presence. It's kind of like refusing your call. Your audience is going to want to know what you're doing, even if you're flipping an egg over in the morning and saying, hey, my egg wasn't over easy today. I'm having a scrambled day. But when you think of the creators and you think of all the influencers now and to the point of their sharing and they're entertaining their audience, there's a lot of detail. So you don't want your audience to miss out. You want to keep engaging with them. There's valuable connections. There could be something in your lifestyle, your health regimen that will connect to somebody else that you wouldn't necessarily connect with. You're going to see on my social media, I'm a dog person. I got dancing dogs, and my dogs get more video work than I do. And I'm okay with it. But I wouldn't have been able to connect that dot if I didn't share that. So don't refuse the call. When it comes to brand building and other forms of refusal, it's you, the hero, you're hesitating. A lot of us heroes hesitate because we don't know what to post on social media. I can tell you, I know a lot of creatives, I like to say you're stuck in the thought bucket, but it could just be as easy as just telling a simple story. If you're a musician or an entertainer, I'm both musician, entertainer. They call me Bad Holly. They call me Bad Holly because Good Holly was taken. But there's stories there. You know, I could definitely give you a little chunk out of my Bad Holly chapter. Don't neglect you. Don't neglect your brand. This journey requires active participation. So does effective social media engagement. So your refusal might leave your audience without guidance or inspiration for the week. Meeting the mentor. I would like to look at myself as a mentor, more a tour guide. And the one thing you're always going to hear me say, and I can tell when I get on socials or my students, their socials, I can tell if they're consistent or not. A lot of times if I go to search somebody and they're not popping up, there's a reason for that. You need to be consistent. The mentor in social media represents invaluable guidance, support, resources, content creators in navigating the challenge of digital landscape. So think of all these platforms, right, as more eyes, more opportunity, more audience members. I like to tell my students, I say, now I want you to think. I want you to think. You have your YouTube stage. You have your Instagram stage. You have your Facebook stage. You have your TikTok stage. And if you've ever been on stage before, you know there's that moment when the curtains are still closed and you can hear the crowd just beyond, and here comes that pitter-patter heartbeat moment where the curtains are going to open. How many people do you see on your stage on that platform? What does your landscape look like? So me as a mentor or a tour guide, visualizing that opportunity and understanding that opportunity is very important. Think about stuff that you can do to go find a mentor, to go find that next step up. You have courses, you have webinars, you have workshops, online resources that offer valuable insights and strategies for mastering social media and content creation. The more you do that, you can consider yourself crossing the threshold of transformation. And that's kind of what happens. The more you're social, and the more you get more engagement, and your audience is growing, you're going to feel different. You're changing. There is a metamorphosis right there. Think of yourself as, you know, a little cocoon person getting ready to dry your wings. There's a lot that you can do to develop. You can start a content calendar. As a roadmap, I'm going to say for the hero's journey, right? Have a goal in mind. If you're not able to go live on TikTok yet, keep that as a goal. Check out other editing softwares. You're going to see in these little circles up here, I have Snapchat, I've got Adobe, I've got Filmora, I've got CapCut, I've got Canva, and I have Instagram. Instagram's a heavy hitter. Now, when I was explaining, imagine being on behind the stage, the curtains opening, right? And you look, and maybe your TikTok audience, maybe you got like the first 3 rows filled, right? Well, there's a tool. There's a tool on Instagram that you can use to call more people. Say you got a bigger audience in Instagram. Well, there's a tool that you can use. You can use your stories. You can put a little clickable link to your TikTok and then invite those audience members over to your other stage. There's strategies. There's strategies in how you engage with your audience, and strategies on how to move your audience, depending on the importance of a project. You're going to see Canva on here because Canva is one of my faves. And Canva has a lot of punch, let me tell you. Anything for short form, if you are an entertainer doing little ads and animated ads, I can't tell you how many times I have people come up to me and say, "Oh my God, who does your ads?" And I say, "Me." But that's the power. That's the power of this network. And I learned to be a one-man band from this network. You're also going to see CapCut. CapCut is a beast all in itself. And CapCut, for sure, if you're on the go, you're capturing something or an opportunity shows up, right? CapCut can be a really quick edit. And all these are not there to overwhelm you like, oh my God, I got to have all of these. I got to learn all of these. No, take a bite, take a little bite. But if I were to take a bite and I was just using Adobe, I would definitely take a bite. CapCut would be my first bite because there's nothing better than feeling powerful. And I mean powerful, but just behind your phone, feeling like, oh, I got everything in my pocket. Let's go, right? So that's a big deal. So I want you to think of strategies. I want you to think of one here. Now, what's important when it comes to social media, your reels, your stories, your YouTube shorts, grow that audience, and live Q&As. This is your invitation to leave the old way. Now remember, the refusal of a call on social media has consequences. It stunts your growth. It limits your reach and impedes on potential meaningful connections. Just like the hero facing obstacles here. You may have transferred over to that threshold, but you're still going to have challenges. You're still going to have temptations. So the hero's path is a series of growth challenges. So when you think of stories, think of when you heard the call. There's a story there. Think of some challenges you may have in your life. And if you can think of other creators, and as you're scrolling through social media, I think the one thing I notice the most is if you see somebody say, I'm 365 days sober. When you think of that challenge and that temptation right there, it's not often that I don't see that those posts don't have a ton of views, a ton of comments, and a ton of pouring of the hearts, because it's real. It's a real challenge for a lot of people. People love it when you're real. And if you can think of right now, even these little sections of a story, like what challenges, what determination do I have? What challenge do I have this week? Holly just showed me a whole bunch of apps, and oh my gosh, right? But don't let that overwhelm you. You're here for a reason. After you hit that challenge in your tribulations, after you understand now you're past the refusal of the call, you've met your mentor, your challenges and tribulations, you're going to have a death and a rebirth. There's a new way to live. Because if you're here and you got that creative heartbeat, I definitely live to create. It's something I totally enjoy and I have a passion for. So growth, resilience, and persistence. Think of all these little spots right here and how many stories that you could have. Think of your focus towards a strong, more authentic you. This is my favorite part. Your flow. Once you have a new rebirth and you're getting the gist of CapCut and you're understanding that I'm going to use Premiere Pro for my big projects, and I'll tell you a secret. A big part of my flow is Snapchat. I like to look at myself as an organic content creator, and not the Snapchat with the goofy filters, which I totally do enjoy that from time to time. Gonna be honest, I love Snapchat. I love it because when you think of putting a whole bunch of B-roll together, right? Or something's going on. You're at a radio station and the caller just got real, and you have your talent behind the microphone and his eyes are just getting wider and wider and wider because he can't believe what this caller is saying. I would probably have my Snapchat out and I would be capturing those big old eyeballs, right? The more you kind of get used to doing that, you've captured the story. You haven't killed your phone on record because Snapchat is a powerful punch. It's going to save on the cloud and then you can store it. So I look at Snapchat as a content locker. Anytime I need to go into that locker, see, do a little, what did I do for the year? I can open up my Snapchat and it's there. It's at my access. I don't have to worry about, an SD card or my phone getting wet. It opens up your creative genius. You're going to start, your ears are going to perk up. You're going to know what content you want. You're going to start getting your style. So when it comes to flow, you're going to know when you're going to start creating your content, posting your content. You're going to come up with strategies like a throwback Thursday, a picture of me whacking a cat on the head with a rattle. I'll find it. There's a picture that exists, but PETA might get mad at me. But I am a total animal lover. Let me just explain that right now. But your flow is important. It's very important, along with your content calendar. Even just doing and starting, just taking like I said, little bites at a time, making sure you're posting 3 times a week. And then once you get into your flow, all right, I got this. Oh, boom, boom, post. You're going to add a little more. You're going to start to realize that your talents were always there. Your very unique superpowers. What you enjoyed as a kid is definitely going to be key. I can tell you as a kid, I like to climb trees. And I've just recently embraced that again. You're going to see me in some social media posts of me up in a tree because I can't explain it. There's just something that once you start connecting, I used to paint as a kid and I liked to create. I loved crafts. So when it comes to this short form video, I feel like I've got that creator heartbeat alive. I understand what's deeply ingrained in me. And when I say ingrained, there's there's just some comfort in either a lifestyle that's ingrained in me. I like getting up early. I like doing my voiceovers early in the morning because if I save my voiceover for later in the evening, I sound like I'm sleepy, and that's not entertaining. So you're definitely going to become more imaginative. Anointment. You're going to notice that you have increased efficiency. You've got a higher quality because now you can see that one, your audience is going to rave over what more they want to see of you. You're going to know what works and what doesn't work. So swim, jump, splash around, play, constantly changing up your strategy and listening to your audience is going to be beneficial. But when you get to this point, your audience is going to speak. They're going to tell you. They're going to ask you questions. They're going to want to know more. They're going to want to see more. Tell me more. You know, if you're a singer, an artist, or a songwriter, having these little bits and pieces of where you were when this song came about, like telling that story, you're going to then start understanding real world success. This is my favorite part. I'm not sure how many times I've said that yet, but I'm going to say it now. Logic. Logic is it's just something now when it comes to your brand and when it comes to what you're concentrating on and what you're creating. Don't let stuff take you away from your flow. Stay on your flow, right? You'll see here that you'll say, I'm saying no more complaining. You're living your true passion, right? If you complain about the barking dog, then the barking dog wins. So a lot has to do with the hero, your decision making. If you have a night out with the friends and you're supposed to have a post early in the morning, but you had that one friend that was a little, maybe getting around your shots, and even if you gave them the no look, we've all been in those situations, but logic is a big deal. And think about you're the main character, how you would handle that situation. The gift. It's a gift to understand who you are and what drives you and what passions you have. I can tell you, I truly think it's a gift every day when I can call myself a creative. But there's not a day that I wouldn't pull another creative up. And with this gift, this very, very special gift, you want to think of you, your family, your community. How are you going to pull other people up? Or just discuss the rewards of helping others success, right? Connecting. When it comes to connecting with other creators, this gift is precious. It feels good to be on your path and know what you truly want to do for the rest of your life. Then you have evolution. Once you live this wheelhouse of the do's, the don'ts, the trials, the tribulations, the temptations, keeping up on your webinars, learning more about other editing processes or AI advancements out there, you're going to grow, you're going to get stronger, you're going to feel your value. You're going up. You're going to see you're going to get more likes. You're going to get more views. You're going to get more engagements, and you're going to get more impressions. And I'll tell you, when it comes to likes, views, engagements, that's all in the recipe for more impressions. So when it comes to the dynamic nature of your platform and your audience's behavior, it's all going to go up. It's important that you adapt and you stay relevant. Using SEO research, that search engine optimization, and I'll explain that really fast. And I can tell you, each one of my students is just in their tracks whenever search engine optimization comes up. When you look at YouTube, YouTube's one of the biggest search engines. Google, big search engine. Each one of your social media platforms has a search engine. So when you want to understand where your lane is, I'm a musician, I'm a content creator, I'm a short form video media specialist, you name it. I'm an organic content creator. You're going to start searching those things in your little search. Now you're going to search in each platform. Now you may be feeling like it might be time consuming. I'm going to tell you it can be a little time consuming, but once you understand where your categories are, where your lane is, your stuff is going to do better because you're going to be in front of the right eyes. So getting your content down the right path and in front of the right eyes is a big deal. There you go. That is a life. I call this the life of a content creator. Don't forget, you're that hero on top. And then you got the call to action. Do not refuse the call. You've got the meeting of your mentor, challenges and tribulations, your rebirth, your flow, your anointment, your gift, and then your growth. And then it just continues. So when you think of all these stories that can evolve and come about as you're going through one of these life cycles, especially in short form, it could be endless. And now we have our story challenge. Linda, would you like to join, or do you want me to find our story challenge graph? All right, I'm going to.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you can see me, but welcome everybody that's here. I was just thinking, Holly, before we jump into this, maybe there might be some questions. If anybody that's joined us has a question, it would be a great time to jump in.
I'm looking at chat right now. I'm seeing if there's. And so far,
I don't see any questions in there. I just, thought there's been such a great delivery. Thank you so much. There's been such great information, and I just didn't know if anybody that was joining us had a question.
Waiting for you heroes. Talk up.
Yeah.
Should we get to the story challenge? And that's probably when the questions are going to start pouring in for sure.
Okay, that's perfect.
Let's see if let me see if I can present it. Let's see. I'm going to pull this up. Give me one moment. That's. Okay, nope. Okay. So sorry for the delay. But when you guys think of storytelling and you think of how do you craft the perfect story? Well, you definitely want to start with a hook. And the hook could be anything along the lines of, guess what, friends? or welcome to our amazing animal kingdom, or hey there, artists, you want to address your kind, right? And a lot of times you're going to see in short form video that the way to do this hook and how people have gotten very creative with it is, there's a guy with purple hair going around a gymnast, or a what would you call it, like the parallel bars, and then falls off the parallel bars, but the transition is then all of a sudden somebody's burger with giant purple cauliflower that kind of resembles the guy's hair that lost his grip on the parallel bars. So you want to think of how you're going to start, how are you going to address. And I can tell you, whenever I'm chatting with my students, I can tell you the one thing that definitely gets me that gets me to swipe instantly is when everybody says, "Hey everybody," or "Hi TikTok," or "Hi." I don't know. I'm gonna swipe. But when it comes to the hook you can get very creative with. And that's one thing I enjoy. I'm clicking around here looking see what I got open. Here it comes. So let's get into our here we go. Our contest for today. And I'm going to try to do this one more time. See if I can get it on a download. Okay, I did have it. I was just afraid to open it. And I'm going to just have Linda or someone just tell me in chat to make sure you can see what I'm presenting. And here we go. Sharon. Oh, this is exciting. I think I'm doing it. Let's see. Window. Here we go. Share. Okay. So here you're going to see short form video storytelling. We have a contest coming up. We've got some prizes. Contest rules down here. I can pull this up a little bit more and hide this thing. Hide. Okay, there we go. Contest rules. Your story, your short form story, must include a music bed and a sound effect. It also must include a hook. Must include a call to action. Now, a call to action could be comment below. Tell me if you can relate in the comments. And the reason why I'm saying this in particular is because if you're sending something here to this contest, this is something that we are going to either repurpose and share on socials. So you saying your call to action being, don't forget to follow me back on Instagram. Not necessarily going to really connect during this process or this project in this opportunity. So when it comes to a call to action, think of what you can do with your short form video to get more engagement, right? Say you're telling a story from the heart that, maybe you were singing since I was 5 years old. I used to sing behind the couch. I remember my parents used to want me to sing, but I had my father always had the best facial expressions, so I could tell if I was singing good or if I was singing bad just by his face. So because of that, whenever they would ask me to sing, I wanted to sing behind the couch so I couldn't see my dad's facial expressions. So I would give a call to action and, comment below if you can relate. Comment below if you have a similar story. That is something that you would put in your actual video in your voiceover. This must be vertical format video. So vertical must be 60 seconds in length. Now that's a hard cut. Must be submitted by March 11th at 9 p.m. This is all time zones. So for this contest, what's your story? Tell me in 60 seconds. That is the theme. It could be, like I said, one of your passions when you started at the school, or if you're alumni, a new project, your steps to getting where you were. And it looks like we've got prizes. We have first place, second place, and third place prizes. Is that what I'm guessing? An auto face tracking tripod, smart shooting phone holder with remote 360 rotation. And let me tell you, I have one of these and I love them. I love them. I love them, especially when I'm cooking in the kitchen and trying to do one of my recipes for socials. And that was the hardest thing I can tell you as a content creator, really getting more video of me. Second place, a professional wireless lavalier, a lapel microphone for iPhones, iPad, a cordless mic. So you see those new little lavaliers that they're putting in the bottom of your phones now, which now when I hear and when I'm scrolling on social media, I can tell just by the volume who's actually accessing and utilizing those microphones and who isn't. Is that the Ulanzi extendable phone tripod? Ooh, a selfie stick. There you go. Get you in a crowd of people if you're one of those concert goers, and then all of a sudden you can just lift it up and get the real. I mean, that's the shot right there. So here we have for our contest from today until March 11th at 9 p.m.
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Oh my gosh. You got PM on there.
Do I? Oh, yeah. I gotta fix it then. Absolutely.
We got a typo. That's 9 a.m. on March 11th. So
We can
Monday.
announce the winners that night in the meeting that night.
That sounds great. So what's going to happen is you're going to get to whoever on your campus is the go-to person for your branding team, and ask them where can I send my 60-second chocked full of all this goodness? How do I get these to the right eyes, right? And definitely submit. Don't delay. Get that information out now so you're not scrambling on Monday, the 11th. So you have until 9 a.m. So we're going to open it up to questions.
I have a question. Could you go back to the screen where you had the full arc of the circle?
Yeah,
Could you
sure.
just walk me through kind of from where you start and kind of go through the steps, summarize the steps for me?
Sure. And Google. Oh, I'm trying to get to my slides here. Slides. Here we go.
And then I'll step off stage here as well.
Sure. I think I have to figure out a way to get this off the screen here. Stops. Okay, stop screen. Oh, poof. I'm back. Okay. All right, I'm getting there. I think. Slides. Here we go. It's just giving me a hard time presenting. Okay. I'm not sure what I did. Let me see if it'll let me do it. Okay, I'm in the show. Oh, there we go. Can you see? I think you can see this. All right. So here we have life of a content creator, right? Now, as I said, you have you. You're the hero, the content creator. Oh, that's there and then it's gone. There we go. And then you have your call to action. Now, your call to action can be many things. My call to action was actually finding out about the media school. Like I said, I had this just, I couldn't explain it. Something just came over me. I kept thinking about the commercial over and over again, and I heard the call. I heard the call.
What was it about the commercial?
It was radio, actually.
So is radio, but what in the commercial kind of resonated with you to
That you
lead
could
you on this journey?
that you could get a radio or a career in radio in 8 months. And as a mom of two youngsters, 8 months seemed very doable for me. Anything 2 to 4 years, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I would have been answering that call, but
Right.
it was a time frame thing for me.
Okay. So it felt manageable for you to achieve that, right? That you could and work within, being a mother of two.
A mother
Okay.
and yeah, upon other things there.
Gotcha.
And then the refusal. My refusal, I'll give you my refusal.
So just explain to me what the refusal is as a step, meaning you're not going to,
If I
you heard
didn't
the call, but you didn't act on it. Is that what I'm hearing as part of
correct.
the story? Is part of
Correct.
the story? Okay.
Yep, exactly. And you know when you can feel something and it's in your head over and over again, so a part of me was refusing the call. And I'll tell you what happened was it was it was Teresa, our admissions rep, reached out to me because I went on the website and showed some interest and I got a call. And a part of me was scared. So I was refusing.
So
And
was it fear of
during
failure or just fear of the unknown of
fear
how can I
fear
fit this
fear
in?
of fear of the unknown and is this really like am I capable? Am I
Okay.
capable? And then I had Miss Teresa, I'm going to call her my mentor. She pulled me up and she said, "You're not going to know. You're not going to know until you show up." So then I took a tour. And it was just like I said, undeniable. It grew. It grew. And then you have your challenges and your tribulations. Now I'm a student, right? My challenges are now I got to balance schoolwork, kids, job, and learn a new way of life. And the more I did that, the more you'll see at the bottom, it's renewal, right? You see that recycle, the renewal. A new me emerged. After a new me emerged, I learned about my flow. I have calendars. I have you name it. I've got little. I have so many little planners, 3-year planners, 2-year planners that I I hold because I feel like that's my flow. I have to jot down what I need to do, what I need to get a grip on, what new AI I have to learn, and then you have anointment, right? Kind of like, oh, I know, present you, kind of like when I went through the program, right? Once I got a flow, once I got a grip of those new video cameras and all the audio software, I got a flow with my projects, and then I was gifted radio TV broadcast degree, right? And or should I say diploma? I was so excited about finishing that program and then what was to come, and that was a gift. But with my gift, I knew that I had to keep everything within the circle going in order to elevate.
I think, just going back to the first part of the call, where does the hook kind of play into this when we're talking about this story? So we have, this in this scenario, we're talking about the story arc of your passion for media, right? So
Your hook would be the call.
the hook is the call, okay. And like everybody probably on this call, there's quite a bit. There's that dissonance whenever you're learning something new initially. Is that really the trials and tribulations part of the story, right? I think of learning, maybe it's Canva or for this event StreamYard, right? There's that initial dissonance before you get comfortable with understanding the technology and the growing confidence with that. So interesting.
There's a story in each one. There truly is.
There can be, yeah, absolutely. And now these guys have to do it in 60 seconds. Right?
Right.
With creativity on top of it. There was a couple questions in the chat. What if they have an Android? They saw a couple of the prizes said iPhone. We would just, I would select an Android version of. If the winner is an Android person, we'll contact you and say, hey, I have an Android. Well, we'll get you the Android version of that gift as well. The other question was, and I think we answered it before, but that QR code will drop you to a web page. And on that web page, you're going to put in your contact information, what campus you're affiliated with, and then you'll also, whether you're alumni or an active student, because we have separate contests for each. There's a place to upload your MP4 video there. That's the preferred format that we would want it in. But just with the rules, make sure you're really tight on that 60-second cutoff point, and the other pieces, the necessary pieces that need to be in there. But be creative, have fun with it. Think about the story arc with this. And Holly, I'll just give it back to you for any additional comments, and then maybe Linda can close us out here.
The more real that you are, the more your audience is going to resonate. And that's kind of why this in particular, this particular arc I came up with to try to be creative, but it really weighs on my process.
I think you mentioned be real, and And as a brand manager, one of the key pillars of brand messaging and brand management in general is that the brand be authentic, right? And that's what you're saying. Be real is the same as be authentic, because that is the one characteristic that your audience will gravitate to. They don't want fake, right? I mean, we think about if you're loading something up in TikTok or Instagram, man, you got to be creative on how to make it not look like an ad. It can't be too polished. It can't be, it has to feel authentic, right? For social media consumers to consume a TikTok, because that TikTok audience is different, that Instagram audience is different. Okay, whereas on LinkedIn, it's very different messaging, right? And the ad could be
More polished.
much more polished, right? You probably want it polished there, right? So it's just
think of you as like doing a day in the life as a creator, right? And you're waking up depending on your situation. And I mentioned Snapchat your day. Like, take us into your world, right? You're at school and I got deadlines, right? Or you're popping up one of these new softwares and show that frustration on your face. Oh my God, I got to learn this new software. I got a deadline. It's the 11th. How am I going to tell this story? But taking like these little tiny clips and really, and I discovered the beauty of Snapchat as a very young content creator. I was at a lot of very important events, and I was using my phone. I was recording with my phone, and then I noticed that my phone was like, "Oh, listen, girl, you're killing my memory. I can't do it. I can't do it." Where with Snapchat, I got these little bits and pieces, or I was able to then ask, could you say that again? Oh gosh, I missed it when you did this. Can you say that one more time? Like, have fun with it. Snapchat yourself. And then when you go back in the vault, you're going to take all those little snaps, and I should do a video. All those little snaps, and you're going to select them, and then you can put them into your camera roll and then pull them over into CapCut. There you got your story. But I'll tell you, the more and more you open up and get comfortable, and it's not easy, but the more you get comfortable showing the real authentic you, the easier it becomes.
Excellent. Any other questions before we hand it off to Linda to close this out? Is there a way to add people to the stage so that they can speak?
I think so. It looks like you're doing it.
Awesome.
I'm trying.
We got Teresa.
Tisa?
Is it Tisa? It's was her.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
Tisa.
Tisa.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Sorry, I'm en route. There we go. I'm en route home from work actually.
Well, you're multitasking there, aren't you?
Don't look down, look up. Look out.
Tisa, what would you capture?
I've done reels that are what's the most recent one I've done? The most recent one I've done was the one where they're like, for example, it's like, yeah, I work a 9 to 5. Of course I do this. I've done that one. What else? I've done the ones about your zodiac. I've done a couple that actually get played a lot on TikTok a little bit.
Yeah,
So you're tapping into the trends.
Yeah, the trends. for sure.
Yeah,
We just had the
yeah. They notice that when I do post view
breaking.
really
So
I can't-
busy 9 to 5 content creator, and already not like you.
well, yeah,
And you know,
really, I
I
really do
like
work in that
hearing that
shop.
you've already posted. Oh, here she comes again.
Yeah, there's a delay for sure.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it's a delay. It's a delay.
All right, Lynn.
Yeah, so hey everybody, I'm so glad that we shared this hour together. Holly, you were awesome. And John, thank you for being our captain on the whole thing. Holly, I just love what you talk about with being your authentic self. I think especially as we've moved through COVID, what we've learned about each other is that we don't take ourselves quite so seriously, especially on these platforms. And when we show ourselves, that's really how we grow. Like you can see what happens when you create a little piece of content that is really about you, or you have a good time with it, people want to engage with it. So I think if we think but we don't think too hard, we're probably going to have better success in creating. And so again, we always talk about this organic thing, but it does take planning, right? It does take some thought before you get to that organic side. So I really encourage everybody that's here. Thank you for joining us. And we're excited to have you as part of our content creators. And we look forward to seeing what you put together. Don't be shy. Go into campus, have fun and ask questions if you need some assistance. We're really looking forward to seeing your content and growing together. So thank you. Thank you for coming tonight. And of course, you can rewatch this if you missed any part of it, and continue to grow with us. And we'll look forward to what we're going to learn next week. But go out and have fun and make a great little piece for us. Thank you.
Awesome. Excellent.
Yeah.
I will get the revised PDF out to everyone with the corrected time for the flyer as well. So
9 a.m. Wait. I just want everybody to know who's here. 9 a.m. was a really big part of our discussion, and somehow it turned into 9 p.m. So mark your clock for 9 a.m. on that Monday.
for sure.
Okay.
All right. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Good
Bye.
night.